Right now at 5, we'll have how one haunted walking trail trades in gore and scares for something more magical.
There's still a stray shower or two out there across the area, but otherwise we're dry. We'll break down the weekend forecast and Halloween coming up.
And a second round of excavations is underway at a Tulsa cemetery in connection with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So we had some stray showers overnight, as we said there would be. Not a whole bunch of rain, but a little bit of rain. And we're still watching shower chances as we head into the weekend. And temperatures are going to be a little cooler this weekend as well. And then we got a warming trend next week, and we'll take a look at Halloween. So again, back to the Skywatch Storm Tracker. A few stray showers out there. You can see on the loop where they moved through overnight last night. That rain activity in Oklahoma not expected to make it to our area today. 7th range line doesn't look too bad. 46 degrees, the light east-northeast breeze, and temperatures across the region still not too terribly bad this morning. A little bit warmer than we were yesterday. 51 Neodesha, 43 Parsons, 46 in Pittsburgh, Carthage, and 47 in Lamar. Live look at the MoDOT camera at range line and I-44 looking west. It looks good. Green light for your morning commute. We'll have mostly cloudy, maybe some partly cloudy skies, temps in the 40s. And we have another opportunity for maybe some gusty winds later. So we're going to put the yellow light up. Just be aware you may get caught by a stray wind gust this afternoon, maybe pushing 20, 25 miles an hour. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy skies in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus, mostly cloudy, 44 this morning. And again, we might have a little gusty breeze a little later. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, 64 at 3 o'clock. We'll be off and on between those clouds, between mostly cloudy and partly cloudy through the day. But otherwise, temperature's not bad, 65 for an afternoon high, so pretty mild. As we head into tonight, a little bit warmer than what we've seen. We'll level off at about 50 early under mostly cloudy skies, and that's when we see some additional rain shower chances start to build in early tomorrow morning. We'll talk about those here in a minute, too. Friday night football, 56 at kickoff, 53 in the fourth quarter. Calling cloud interference. That has been a trend on Friday night football, it seems, as well. Mostly cloudy skies tonight. And looking ahead to the weekend, this is the showers we were talking about. Some showers Saturday and Sunday, rather. Mostly cloudy skies. Otherwise, 56 Saturday, 55 Sunday. So a bit cooler than what we're going to see today, but not bad and not a complete washout for the rain. Just keep the umbrella handy, as we've been saying over the last several days. We're not looking at all-day rain events. We're just looking at some scattered showers, so don't cancel your plans.
That's right. Don't cancel them.
Absolutely.
Just be prepared.
Exactly. That's the best way to be, is just always be prepared. And we'll have a look at your 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
All right. Sounds like a plan. All right. Thanks, Chris. Authorities are investigating allegations against Neosho County, Kansas's county attorney. According to the Neosho County Sheriff, an investigation is underway following a slew of complaints against Linus Thuston. The sheriff told KOAM that he'd like to talk more about it, but since it's ongoing, he cannot. The state attorney general's office did confirm that there is an investigation and no prosecutorial decisions have been made. Thuston is currently serving his second stint as county attorney after holding the post in the late 90s and early 2000s. Silver Dollar City provided an update on the derailment of the Frisco Silver Dollar City line steam train. The crash occurred shortly after 6 p.m. Wednesday night, injuring 6 guests and 1 employee. On Thursday, Silver Dollar City said the employee and 5 of the 6 guests have all been released from the hospital, and there's no word yet on the cause of the derailment. A second excavation is underway in Tulsa in connection with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre investigation. The excavation includes a new area at Oaklawn Cemetery in the hopes of finding potential victims. The first excavation took place during the summer of 2021. Analysts were able to locate 19 human remains. The city says 14 of those fit the criteria for further DNA analysis. From the samples taken at Oaklawn, 2 DNA samples had sufficient amounts of DNA to move forward. Authorities in the Tulsa area investigate 8 deaths. This is a developing story. 8 people are dead in connection with a large house fire in Broken Arrow. Investigators say the fire and deaths are investigated as homicides. Authorities are not saying much about the circumstances, but they say they do not believe there is an immediate threat to the public. Police say it's a complex scene given the state of the house due to the fire damage. And they say Broken Arrow stands together in mourning.
This is a shock to Broken Arrow. It's a safe city. Broken Arrow doesn't have this kind of situation every day, and so we're asking the community to please pray and come together in this, because this is something that we don't experience as a city very often.
ATF is on the scene assisting with the investigation. Police say they intend to release more information today. Well, they call it a haunted trail, but this Halloween attraction swaps the scarier side of Halloween for something more magical. The Drake and More All Ages Haunted Trail is a free walking trail in Joplin that features inflated characters from the book of the same name. The characters help young children navigate the sometimes difficult challenges of life. The attraction's owner wants families to know this is not your usual Halloween attraction, which means no horror or gore.
So what this is it's a walking trail. It's about approximately a quarter of a mile long. It's an all ages trail, so there are no jump scares, there's no gore, there's no chainsaws, anything like that.
Weather allowing the Drake and More Walking Trail is open through Halloween nightly from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Speaking of weather, it actually had to shut down earlier this week because of damage from the weather.
Yeah, all that wind that we got earlier this week did some damage to their inflatables out there and to other props that they had set up across the property. So, I mean, it's just how crazy windy it was through the weekend and the first part of this week. But thankfully, nothing like that today. Quick look at our sunrise sunset. 7:38 this morning for the sunrise. 6:25 is when the sun will set. And a check of that 7-day forecast for you. We have the shower chances through the weekend. 67 on Halloween Day, partly cloudy, 51 for the low. We get into a trend of 70s next week before we see our next chance of shower and thunderstorm activity as we head into next weekend.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Colgan Panthers take on the Central Heights Vikings. We'll have who came out the victor in sports.
Plus, haunted houses are fun and filled with frights. We'll take you to a unique one in Florida being put on by adults with disabilities.
And those with nightmares may now be able to rest easy as a new therapy could help keep them at bay. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, the playoffs are here for high school football in Southeast Kansas. The Colgan Panthers have a home game to open up the 1A bracket, hosting the Central Heights Vikings. Colgan is on a roll heading into the playoffs. The Panthers won 6 straight games to close out the regular season. Vikings fake a punt on 4th and 1 on their first possession. Brody Canar there to stop it. Colgan takes over possession. Very next play, Tucker Harrell fakes the give. Keeps it and takes off, kind of just coasts through traffic. 29 yards for the touchdown. Colgan goes up 7-0. Vikings in Colgan territory after a fumble on a punt return, but the Panthers get it right back. It's Connor Van Beesler with the interception. He brings it out of the end zone. Panthers drive straight down the field, and again, it's Harrell keeping it. Basically just walks in there at the end. Colgan takes a 14-0 lead after the first. So we go to the second quarter. Panthers still rolling. Harrell gives it off to Keegan Fleming. One good stiff arm, and he finds his way around the edge all the way in for the 32-yard touchdown. Colgan wins, and it's a shutout. Final score 52-0. 8-player Division I bracket here. Oswego opens the postseason at home last night with a tough one against Madison. First drive for Oswego. Jake Hutchinson takes the snap, goes right up the middle for the short touchdown. Madison quickly answers to tie it at 6, so the Indians try to take back the lead here. This time, Levi George barrels into the end zone. In the second, it's all tied up again. Hayden Helm flips it out to Bryson Turner. Makes a few guys miss and scores. Madison on top, 22-14. Then the Bulldogs start to pull away. Coming out of the half, Turner slips through traffic. He takes it all the way. Madison picks up the big road win, 56-32 over Oswego. Well, the Pittsburgh State Gorillas have just 3 games left in the regular season. The Gorillas are still undefeated, sitting at 8-0 heading into Week 9. Pitt State is on the road against Central Oklahoma on Saturday. UCO is 5-3 and has a couple big wins against Northwest Missouri and Emporia State. We've talked about this Pitt State defense all year long. They're the best scoring defense in the MIAA, second in total defense, second in sacks. Here's that Gorilla defense on what they see out of Central Oklahoma.
They're very coached very well, and they do a lot of screens. So we're going to do a lot of retracing and running to the ball. That's going to be very imperative this week. And UCO is going to have nothing to lose. They're going to give everything that we have. So it's very imperative that we are prepared for everything that they have to throw at us.
Offensively, they present you with some tough formations. The run game and the screen game that they have is at another level, in my opinion.
I'm very thrilled with how our defense has been playing. There's still a lot of room for improvement, but the ultimate, I would say, the thing that we've been doing is playing complementary football. The defense we have a bend, don't break mentality, so despite where we get the ball at on the field, we're just going to look forward to stopping the opponents from putting posts on the board.
Well, the Seneca Indians are still alive for a state volleyball championship. The Indians claimed the district title earlier this week over Mount Vernon to earn their spot in the Class 3 state bracket. Seneca gets to play at home in the sectional round. They're on the floor against Mountain Grove. Seneca wins it straight sets 3-0. The Indians now move on to play in the state quarterfinals on Saturday. Seneca, not the only local team playing in the state sectional round. In Class 2, Diamond is on the road against Fair Grove, aiming to move on to the state quarterfinals. Diamond falls 3-0. The Wildcats in the season with a 23-10-4 overall record. Well, still to come, a new study shows that Hispanics and blacks are less likely to have bystanders give them CPR than those who are white. And we're going to take another look at your Halloween forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Well, we've got a Halloween forecast to get to, but before we do that, by the way, it is 5:17 on this fine Friday morning. We're going to ask you our weather trivia question. Aches and pains are said to be aggravated by coming storms. What could possibly cause this? Would it be falling atmospheric pressure, ionization of the air, rising atmospheric pressure, or the little understood Moody effect? While you think about that, let's take a look at what we're tracking for the weather for us today. We're watching some shower chances this weekend, and the temps are going to cool down this weekend as well. And then we're looking at a warming trend next week, and we're going to take a look at Halloween, of course, for you. Still a stray shower or two out there on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, but you look at the loop, you can see where we got those showers, and they're moving on out of here. And all this activity across Oklahoma will stay across Oklahoma. It will not move into our area today. However, because of that being so close, we'll still have some mostly to partly cloudy skies through the day. 46 in Joplin right now. Temperatures across the area in the 40s. For the most part, we got some warm places like Nowata at 53, Neodesha at 50, 43 Parsons, 49 Chatopa, Miami, 46 in Neosho, and 46 in Monette. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from Rangeline. Looks good. Green light for your morning drive. Mostly cloudy skies in the 40s. We have that yellow light because we could see a stray gust of wind from, say, 20 to 25 today. We're not talking continuous gusts, but do be aware of that. Otherwise, we got partly to mostly cloudy skies in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning might need a light jacket. 44 and mostly cloudy, but by the time they get home, we're still fairly cloudy at 3 o'clock, but we're 64, and our high today is going to be 65. So a pretty decent day lined up for us with those varying cloud levels of either partly or mostly cloudy. We mostly cloudy tonight, and then we start to see showers as we head into early tomorrow morning, an overnight low of 50. For Friday night football tonight, we're calling cloud interference for like the 500th time this season, it seems, because we'll have mostly cloudy skies, 56 at kickoff and 53 for the fourth quarter. And we have those shower chances this weekend. They're scattered, so don't cancel your weekend plans. Just be aware it may rain here and there. 56 Saturday, 55 on Sunday. Now for the answer to our trivia question of what could possibly cause the aches and pains that people believe are aggravated by coming storms. Well, falling atmospheric pressure is thought to be one possibility, and it does seem to have some validity, and researchers think that it may be the falling atmospheric pressure that causes blood vessels to dilate slightly. All right, let's get into your 7-day forecast, if I can get these buttons to go for me. We head into next week's Halloween looks good, 67 partly cloudy, 51 for the overnight low, 70s for the good portion of next week, but we also watch some increasing shower and thunderstorm chances by next weekend, so more much needed rain on the way. Well, there's no shortage of haunted houses this time of year, but in St. Petersburg, Florida, there's a special one that not only makes you jump with fright, but smile in appreciation. As Robert Boyd reports, the entire haunted attraction is put on by adults with developmental disabilities.
Well, when it comes to Halloween here at Park, it's not just about scaring, it's about creating, motivating, and inspiring. However, this weekend, it is pretty scary. From zombies to dead brides, to witches, and don't forget about the killer clowns. The Park Haunted House is the highlight of the year for these participants.
It's all about scaring people. It's really how many people we could scare.
Ronnie Williams is one of a dozen to help design, create, and act in this ghostly walk through the cemetery. And I gotta tell you, this blood is pretty scary. I'm hoping it's fake, right?
Yes, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
You're gonna ride a horse, maybe? Yeah. And then scream at him?
Brian Rothy, Assistant Vice President of Adult Community Programs, says he knew the haunted house would be fun, but never realized the life skills it would also add.
An awesome team building experience. It has a social component to it. There's a lot of organizing that's going on. There's a lot of planning that has to happen. There's a lot of inventory lists that we have to make, and our participants are taking an active role in that.
I dreamed about being a killer clown ever since I was like a preteen. So it's kind of fun and it's kind of gruesome and spooky and scary and bleh.
And this weekend they'll have a chance to put all their hard work to the test as they invite family to visit, if they dare. Are you excited to scare your friends and family this weekend?
Yes.
Are they going to recognize you with all this blood?
No.
Of all the other scary characters, who are you the most afraid of?
The wolf. Brian hopes the community appreciates how dedicated their cast of characters are.
The best part for me is the way that they talk about it throughout the entire year, at how excited they are, the smiles, the stories.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Do you believe that ghosts and spirits are real? We want to know. It's a yes or a no. You can vote, KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Do so through the app if you dare, and take part in the Facebook discussion. Back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a study published Thursday in the journal Current Biology suggests a new treatment for nightmares may have a lot of potential. The gold standard for treating nightmare disorder is imagery rehearsal therapy. It teaches people to reimagine their nightmares with positive endings. Now, it doesn't work for everyone, but a new twist on that therapy adds sound, and it appears to have yielded improved results. It involves sounds the sufferer associates with a more positive outcome. The sound is played as the person is in REM sleep, the stage in which dreams take place. A new study finds Black and Hispanic people are less likely than white people to receive CPR from a bystander. Researchers analyzed data from the National Cardiac Arrest Registry to enhance survival. They looked at the race and ethnicities of more than 110,000 people in the U.S. who suffered cardiac arrest outside of a hospital. They did not have race data for the bystanders. The researchers found more than 45% of Blacks and Hispanics received bystander CPR when cardiac arrest happened in public locations, compared with 60% of whites. The study's findings suggest these differences in how likely someone is to receive potentially life-saving CPR from a bystander contribute to how Black people may be less likely to survive an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Let's look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We are watching some shower chances this weekend. We're not talking a complete washout, but showers are possible. We'll break down the weekend forecast and take a look at Halloween. But first, as we go to break, here's a live look at the Drake and Moore Haunted Trail. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Right now at 5:30, we'll have how one haunted walking trail trades in gore and scares for something more magical.
We had showers overnight. They are on their way out. These showers will stay to our south, but we have additional rain chances. We're going to talk about all of it coming up.
And a second round of excavations is underway at a Tulsa cemetery in connection with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is a finally Friday in the 4 states, which is a good thing. because that means tomorrow's the weekend.
And it's Halloween weekend.
It is. So if you've got some plans this weekend, there's good and bad news depending on how you want to view it, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. First up, Skywatch Storm Tracker starting to calm down across our area, and not like it really got out of hand or anything. We had some showers overnight, which you can see on the loop. They have since broken up and moved on out of here. Showers to our south should remain there, but their close proximity is going to give us mostly to partly to mostly cloudy skies as we go through today. Right now in Joplin, it's 46, a little bit on the cool side, but warmer than where we have been. A slow warming trend's been the key this week rather. 50 Neodesha, 43 Parsons, 45 Pittsburgh. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from Rangeline. Looks good. Your morning drive's got a green light, mostly cloudy in the 40s. We're throwing up the yellow light because we may see an occasional gust to 20 or 25 miles an hour out of the northeast with the winds. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus might need a light jacket this morning. 44 and mostly cloudy, but we warm up 64 and still cloudy at 3 o'clock today. Our afternoon high is going to be 65 glorious degrees for a Friday, so not bad at all with those intermittent clouds through the day. And we're mostly cloudy heading into tonight, 50 for the overnight low. Some showers heading into Saturday morning. Friday night football looking pretty good, calling cloud interference for the 50th time this season, it seems. 56 at kickoff, 53 by fourth quarter, and our weekend. So there's those showers we're talking about. So we're looking at scattered showers. We're not talking consistent all-day rain, but do bring the umbrella or rain jacket just in case if you got some outdoor plans. 56 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday. We'll talk about Halloween and the forecast for that, and take a look at next week here in just a few minutes.
All right. A lot of people are making plans for the weekend and Mondays.
So yeah. And the good news is, I said, you don't need to cancel your plans for the weekend because we're not looking at the rain like we got on Monday and Tuesday, but just keep the umbrella handy. Just be aware that you may see a sprinkle or two out there this weekend.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, Silver Dollar City provided an update on the derailment of the Frisco Silver Dollar City line steam train. The crash occurred shortly after 6 p.m. Wednesday night, injuring 6 guests and 1 employee. On Thursday, Silver Dollar City says the employee and 5 of the 6 guests have all been released from the hospital. There's no word yet on the cause of the derailment. Authorities are investigating allegations against Neosho County, Kansas's county attorney. According to the Neosho County Sheriff, an investigation is underway following a slew of complaints against Linus Thuston. The sheriff told KOAM he'd like to talk more about it, but since it's ongoing, he cannot. The state attorney general's office did confirm that there is an investigation and, quote, no prosecutorial decisions have been made, end quote. Thuston is currently serving his second stint as county attorney after holding the post in the late 90s and early 2000s. A second excavation is underway in Tulsa in connection with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre investigation. The excavation includes a new area at Oaklawn Cemetery in the hopes of finding potential victims. The first excavation took place during the summer of 2021, and analysts were able to locate 19 human remains. The city says 14 of those fit the criteria for further DNA analysis. From the samples taken at Oaklawn, 2 DNA samples had sufficient amounts of DNA to move forward. And authorities in the Tulsa area investigate 8 deaths. This is a developing story. 8 people are dead in connection with a large house fire in Broken Arrow. Investigators say the fire and deaths are being investigated as homicides. Authorities are not saying much about the circumstances, but they say they do not believe there is an immediate threat to the public. Police say it's a complex scene given the state of the house due to the fire damage. And they say Broken Arrow stands together in mourning.
This is a shock to Broken Arrow. It's a safe city. Broken Arrow doesn't have this kind of situation every day. And so we're asking the community to please pray and come together in this, because this is something that we don't experience as a city very.
ATF is on the scene assisting with the investigation. Police say they intend to release more information today. Well, they call it a haunted trail, but this Halloween attraction swaps the scarier side of Halloween for something more magical. The Drake and More is an all-ages haunted trail. It's a free walking trail in Joplin that features inflated characters from the book of the same name. The characters help young children navigate the sometimes difficult challenges of life.
There is a book series about Drakenmore, about the creatures in Drakenmore and some of the things that they do. It's kind of a children's book series. It teaches a few life lessons about being scared, things like that, finding a home.
The Drake and Moore book series is available online or can be purchased at the Drake and Moore Walking Trail. It's actually written by a family member.
Yeah. I did a story with them a few years back when they were making a push to get some additional parking in the area, and they were able to acquire a couple of lots nearby and lay some gravel down and allow for more parking, because parking directly in front of their home not really doesn't really work so well. It's not the best way, not the best area to park. So it's a very cool place. If you haven't been, make sure you get out there, because we take our kids every year, and it's a really neat trail to walk through.
And be sure to tune in throughout the morning show. We're going to be taking live images from Drake and Moore all morning long. And here's one right now. We've got what looks like a pumpkin skeleton on fire. Wow. There's a lot going on.
No, there's a lot. There are so many neat things out there, and like they mentioned, there's no jump scares, no blood, no gore. The only jump scares are when I go with the family and I hang back a bit and run up and scare the kids or something. They're the only ones who get jump scares. Outside of that, they don't do that. It's a great trail to walk through. So,
and I think they said it's open 7 to 9 in the evenings.
Yes.
Obviously, we asked him to turn it on for us this morning so we could show it off. But
you do want to get there early, because a line will form in a matter of minutes.
Wow, that's cool.
It's a very cool place. Okay, so this morning we're discussing haunted houses, and from zombies to dead brides, witches, and killer clowns, the haunted house in Florida is the highlight of the year for those participating in it, because this haunted house is fun and it's got a side effect. It helps build on life skills of the disabled adults who participate in it.
The vice president of the program that's helping put it on hopes the community appreciates how dedicated their cast of characters is. And although the haunted house may be fake, it brings very real smiles to those who are participating in it.
And that brings us to our question for you. You and I have had this discussion more than once. Do you believe in ghosts or spirits? And 100% of you right now say yes, and I think that's probably because you and I voted. I'm kidding. We have not voted.
No, I haven't.
We haven't voted, but 100% of our viewers so far say that they do. So make sure you vote at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Do so in the app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. Real quick check of the 7-day forecast, because we're about out of time here. We were out of time a minute ago. So we get the showers through the weekend, 67 on Halloween, partly cloudy, 51 for the low. So it's not bad in terms of trick-or-treating weather. We get into the 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We hold them into next weekend as we see additional shower and thunderstorm chances.
All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, we meet a man who finally got his chance to be on TV, all by playing dead.
Plus, North Korea launches a short-range missile after South Korea wraps up training drills. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, North Korea fires at least 2 short-range ballistic missiles on Friday. That's according to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, who said the projectiles were fired from the Tangshan area in the country's eastern province of Gangwon. The launch comes as South Korea wraps up its Hogak joint military drills involving its Navy, Marine, and Air forces along its east coast. Pyongyang said earlier that its missile launches are in response to the South's military exercises, which they've dubbed provocative. South Korea is also expected to conduct a large-scale joint Air Force training with the U.S. starting October 31st. This involves the U.S.'s F-35B stealth jet. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, and here's some of our big weather headlines that we are watching as we head into the weekend. We're watching those shower chances heading into the weekend, and temperatures are going to cool down. So it's going to be pretty pleasant today, but then we will see a cool down ahead of us. And then we have a warming trend as we head into next week, and we're going to look at your Halloween forecast. Skywatch storm tracker is starting to look pretty clear now. We did have showers earlier this morning, or overnight really. These showers will stay to our south, but they're going to get just close enough that we're going to get some cloud cover. So we're going to have mostly to partly cloudy skies throughout the day. 7th in range line looking good right now, 46 degrees in Joplin. We've got 40s across the area with the exception of a few warmer spots, say Sedan, Neodesha, 51 and 50, 43 Parsons, Pittsburgh, 45 Fort Scott, Nevada, 46 Neosho and Monette. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from range line. Traffic starting to pick up and a green light For your morning drive, it'll be mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 40s. We have the yellow light, and this is just simply as a word of caution. We could see some gusts today push about 20 or 25 miles an hour out of the northeast. We're not talking sustained winds. We're not looking at the same thing we had again earlier this week where it's just blowing continuously, but just be aware if you're driving home that you could get caught in a sudden gust of wind. Otherwise, we're partly to mostly cloudy and in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning are very likely going to need a light jacket at least, as it's 44 and cloudy. Have those passing clouds later today at 3 o'clock and 64. We're heading for a high today of 65 degrees with the intermittent cloudy to mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies throughout the day. And then as we head into tonight, we get a little more consistency with some mostly cloudy skies as we start to look for some rain showers as we head into tomorrow morning and about 50 degrees. Friday night football, cloud interference. I feel like I've said this once or twice before, but that's what we're calling tonight. So we'll be mostly cloudy, 56 at kickoff, 53 at fourth quarter. So a little bit cooler, but still pretty decent football weather. Shower chances are scattered over the weekend. We're not talking all-day rain, but do have the umbrella or rain jacket handy. 56 Saturday, 55 Sunday. Just don't cancel your plans. You don't really need to do that. Sunrise today, 7:38. Sunset tonight will be 6:25. And as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, so again, we get through the scattered shower chances through the weekend. And then as we take a look at Monday for Halloween, we're looking pretty good, believe it or not. Usually Halloween around here, it's like 12 degrees, it seems, when you're trick-or-treating. We're looking at 63 by 6, 58 by 7, and 56 by 8 o'clock on Halloween day. So you might need a light jacket here or there. You might want to wear something a little warm under your costume, but this is actually pretty good trick-or-treating weather compared to years past across the area. We go into the week ahead and we get our 70s and partly cloudy skies. And then we look at the end of next week and we're still watching the chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms heading into next weekend. And as you know, we absolutely need the rain across the area. And there's a graphic I did not put in here, but Tim, our director, has informed me I might have a couple of seconds. So we were talking about the drought tracker the other day, and I wanted to load that up and show you. We have some good news on that where we had the rain earlier this week. We got this update yesterday, and the exceptional, it's still there, but it no longer reaches as far east as it did. It's been backed up a bit, which means the extreme, the severe, the moderate drought, all being backed up a bit. And all we can do is hope that we get additional rainfall to keep reducing this exceptional and extreme drought and get us back to where we need to be rain-wise. Before we go to break, we want to show you a live look at the Drakenmore Haunted Walking Trail. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Dear road rivals, cheer up, wannabe twinsies. If you try hard.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in the Tulsa area investigate 8 deaths. 8 people are dead in connection with a large house fire in Broken Arrow. Investigators say the fire and deaths are investigated as homicides now. Authorities are not saying much about the circumstances, but they say they do not believe there is an immediate threat to the public. Police say it's a complex scene given the state of the house due to the fire damage. And they say Broken Arrow stands together in mourning. And a second excavation is underway in Tulsa in connection with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre investigation. The excavation includes a new area at Oaklawn Cemetery in the hopes of finding potential victims. The first excavation took place during the summer of 2021. Analysts were able to locate 19 human remains. The city says 14 of those fit the criteria for further DNA analysis. From the samples taken at Oaklawn, 2 DNA samples had sufficient amounts of DNA to move forward. And authorities are investigating allegations against Neosho County, Kansas's county attorney. According to the Neosho County Sheriff, an investigation is underway following a slew of complaints against Linus Thuston. Sheriff told KOAM he'd like to talk more about it, but since it is ongoing, he cannot. The State Attorney General's office did confirm there is an investigation and no prosecutorial decisions have been made. Thuston is currently serving his second stint as county attorney after holding the post in the late 90s and early 2000s. And the Coffeyville, Kansas Fire Department releases details regarding 2 structure fires over the past weekend. The fires took place at 7th and Pine and Penn Street. They say the fires were fueled in part by high winds and were large scale and suffered significant damage. No residents or firefighters were injured. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And now for that forecast as you head out the door. We've got decent skies right now in Joplin. Temperatures are also all right, a little cool but not bad. 46 degrees in the city. We got 40s for the most part across the region, except for Sedan, Nowata, and Veneta, for example. They're at 50. 43 Parsons, 48 Chatopa, 47 Miami, 46 Neosho in Anderson. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from Rangeline. Looking good. Green light for your morning drive. Mostly cloudy skies in the 40s. A yellow light because we may have an occasional gust of about 20 or 25 this afternoon out of the northeast. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy skies in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Again, a little bit on the cool side, 44 under some mostly cloudy skies. And we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies by 3 and 64 when they come home. And that's ahead of a high of 65 today with those mostly to partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. Going into tonight, a little more consistent on the mostly cloudy skies, 50 for the overnight low, and some rain showers as we head into tomorrow morning on the 7-day forecast. Rain showers Saturday and Sunday, 56, 55. They are scattered, so don't cancel your weekend plans. Just keep the jacket handy. Halloween looks great, 67 and 51 for the overnight low under partly cloudy skies, and then partly cloudy for the majority of next week and temperatures in the 70s. Before we go to break,
Well, a Kentucky man played dead more than 300 times and posted the videos to social media.
I could do that. I could do it right now. Well, he wasn't trying to prank anyone, though. It was all an effort to win a role on a TV show. Jeannie Moose reports.
It was a TV role Josh Nally was dying to get, and dying and dying and dying. This Kentucky restaurant manager posed playing dead and posted the videos to TikTok over 300 times, all to convince a movie or TV show to let him play a corpse.
It was done out of boredom.
He posed as if he fell off a ladder, stringing Christmas lights. He sprawled in an icy creek, holding his breath while his dogs splashed around. He posed with a pumpkin on his head. And finally, CSI Vegas came calling.
All occupants are deceased.
I take it was not a speaking part.
It was not. I'm a dead body is what I am.
One of his favorite performances was when he posed headless.
I did it with using a mirror to reflect the ground in front of me, so it looked like I didn't have a head.
Once, while posing on his front porch, a motorist stopped.
I had a mouthful of blood that I was going to let dribble out.
That was the most he could manage with fake blood in his mouth. He's had friends play cameos. He recreated a scene from Die Hard.
We have left nothing to chance.
After a year of auditioning, Josh got his death wish. CSI Vegas flew him out west. They didn't pay him, but they gave him a cameo in the morgue.
It was me laying on a metal gurney for about 5 hours.
Wearing a prosthetic, he nestled into a body bag. Executive producer Jason Tracy gave him a 5-star review. When Josh lies perfectly still, he is every inch the equal of Sir Laurence Olivier. And you thought only cats had 9 lives. Josh's formula for showbiz success: over my dead body. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
I love how many shots of that his dogs are actually in that with them. It's what do you
See? We all could do this. At least I think so. You know the Don Henley song about our profession. I could have been an actor, but I wound up here. Now I'm starting to think, based on this guy's videos, I miss my calling. I could play a dead body. That'd be pretty fun.
I thought you were acting every morning.
Something like that. We've got another check of your Halloween forecast and some rain showers coming up. Well, we've got a pretty decent day ahead of us with some partly to mostly to partly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. We'll reach a high of 65, so not bad temperature-wise. We'll be mostly cloudy as we head into tonight as well, and we'll be a little bit warmer than we have been, dropping back to 50. We're looking at the shot of some afternoon, or some morning showers rather. This is 6 a.m., not 6 p.m. Some morning showers as we head into tomorrow early morning. Friday night football tonight, we are calling cloud interference yet again, and that's because we'll be mostly cloudy at kickoff and by the fourth quarter, 56 and 53. And then we have those scattered shower chances this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 56 and 55. Now remember, these are scattered shower chances. We're not talking about widespread rain, so don't just go, oh shoot, there's rain icons on the forecast. I should probably cancel my plans. Don't do that. Don't cancel your plans, keep your plans, because these are scattered showers. Just keep the umbrella or the rain jacket handy, just in case. So once we get through that, Halloween Day is looking really good, actually. 67 for the high, and as kids go out to do some trick-or-treating, usually it's like 15 degrees outside. Not this year. 63 by 6, 58 at 7, and 56 by 8 o'clock. So good trick-or-treating weather. Then we get into the 70s after that, and we have additional shower and thunderstorm chances heading into next weekend, something we still absolutely need. We are back with more right after this.
Right now at 6, authorities in Oklahoma open a homicide investigation after the discovery of 8 bodies in connection with a large house fire.
We've got a pretty decent day lined up for us, although we'll go from some partly to mostly to partly cloudy skies. We'll break it all down and some shower chances and Halloween coming up.
And the Drake and Moore Walking Trail in Joplin gives people of all ages a chance to take in some spooky family-friendly fun for the holiday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now 6 a.m. and 35 seconds. See, Tim was very kind. I really want to introduce people to Tim one day because they hear us talk about him all the time. Nobody knows who Tim is.
We have a wonderful opportunity to do that over Thanksgiving. Tim will be joining us in our Thanksgiving KOAM family food celebration. I'm calling you out, Tim. You have to include yourself into making something. What we do, we have so many new people, so this is new to a lot of you guys. What we do every Thanksgiving on the KOAM Morning News is everyone brings in a dish, that's something that they make that's like a family tradition, a passed down family recipe. You don't necessarily have to make it yourself. Maybe your spouse or your mom helps you make it or something like that, but it's something that you make for your family, and we divide everything up so we have a full spread by the end of the morning. But then we say Tim, like he's making like his famous green bean salad or something. I don't know, whatever. You'll get more creative than that, Tim. But then he will come and join us on the set and tell us what goes into it and how he made it.
Okay, so people will have the opportunity to meet Tim because he does a lot of wonderful things for us, and so I want people to meet Tim. You'll also want to check out our forecast. So we are watching some shower chances heading into this weekend. Temps definitely cooled down this weekend as well, and then we see a bit of a warm-up, and we also take a look at Halloween. So Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear around us. The showers in Oklahoma, and those are all going to stay to our south despite what it looks like, but they're going to be close enough that we'll see those cloudy skies intermittently from them. 7th and range line looking good, 42 degrees out there right now. We've got 40s for the most part across the area, 46 Independence, 49 Chautauqua, 45 Lamar and Carthage as we start this day. MoDOT camera looking live west on I-44 from range line, looks good. Green light for your morning drive, mostly cloudy and in the 40s, and a yellow light because we may see an occasional gust of 20 or 25 miles an hour later today. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus, 44 degrees, mostly cloudy, and mostly to partly cloudy skies when they get home, 64. Our high today is 65 under those mostly to partly cloudy skies, and tonight will be mostly cloudy and drop back down to a low of 50 as we watch for some showers as we head into tomorrow morning. There's a lot to talk about. I'm almost out of breath here. Cloud interference for tonight for Friday Night Football. Otherwise not bad. 56 at kickoff, 53 by the fourth quarter. And last but not least, your weekend forecast. Some showers are possible Saturday and Sunday. Don't cancel your weekend plans because these are scattered, but just keep the umbrella handy just in case. And we will talk about Halloween and I don't know what else that comes up in the weather forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right. Sounds like...
It's hard to believe that wasn't the whole weather forecast. There's
still
more to come.
We covered it, but there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, well, we spent a lot of time praising Tim, too, so I had to kind of speed up a little bit. We're on a clock that Tim put right there.
We love you,
so
Tim.
that we know what kind of clock we're on.
Moving along. All right, authorities in the Tulsa area investigate 8 deaths, and this is a developing story. 8 people are dead in connection with a large house fire in Broken Arrow. And investigators say the fire and deaths are investigated now as homicides. Authorities are not saying much about the circumstances, but they say they do not believe there is an immediate threat to the public. Police say it's a complex scene given the state of the house due to the fire damage. And they say Broken Arrow stands together in mourning.
This is a shock to Broken Arrow. It's a safe city. Broken Arrow doesn't have this kind of situation every day. And so we're asking the community to please pray and come together in this, because this is something that we don't experience as a city very often.
ATF is on the scene assisting with the investigation, and police say they intend to release more information today. Well, Silver Dollar City provides an update on the derailment of the Frisco Silver Dollar City line steam train. The crash occurred shortly after 6 p.m. Wednesday night, injuring 6 guests and 1 employee. On Thursday, Silver Dollar City says the employee and 5 of the 6 guests have all been released from the hospital. There's no word yet on the cause of the derailment. The Coffeyville, Kansas Fire Department releases details regarding 2 structure fires over the past weekend. The fires took place at 7th and Pine and Penn Street. They say the fires were fueled in part by the high winds and were large scale and suffered significant damage. No residents or firefighters were injured. Authorities are investigating allegations against a Neosho County, Kansas county attorney. According to the Neosho County Sheriff, an investigation is underway following a slew of complaints against Linus Thuston. The State Attorney General's office confirms the investigation, but no prosecutorial decisions have been made. Thuston is currently serving his 2nd stint as county attorney after holding the post in the late 90s and early 2000s. Well, Twitter users could soon see some big changes coming from the social media platform as Elon Musk takes over. The world's richest man closed the $44 billion deal to acquire the social media giant, and he reportedly wasted no time in ousting top executives, including CEO, Chief Financial Officer, and Chief Legal Counsel. In an open letter to advertisers, Musk tweeted he envisions the social media platform as a digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated. Musk's takeover has triggered uncertainty among some of the Twitter's approximately 450 million monthly active users. We'll have more on Musk Twitter takeover later in the show. Well, they call it a haunted trail, but this Halloween attraction swaps the scarier side of Halloween for something more magical. The Drake and More all-ages haunted trail is a free walking trail in Joplin that features inflated characters from the book of the same name. Characters help young children navigate the sometimes difficult challenges of life. The attraction's owner wants families to know this is not your usual Halloween attraction, which means no horror and no gore.
So what this is it's a walking trail. It's about approximately a quarter of a mile long. It's an all-ages trail, so there are no jump scares, there's no gore, there's no chainsaws, anything like that.
Weather allowing, the Drake and More walking trail is open through Halloween nightly from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
I was just telling Tanya, there are those in my life that would say I'm an inflated character, but that's neither here nor there. 7:38 for your sunrise, 6:25 for your sunset as we head into Halloween. 67 partly cloudy, 51 for the overnight low. So not bad for trick-or-treating. In fact, I want to show you how our hourly goes on Halloween for trick-or-treating, because that's pretty good considering that usually it's really cold around here on Halloween night. 63 at 6, 58 at 7, and 56 by 8. So good trick-or-treating weather. And then we pop into the 70s for a good portion of next week.
All right. Well,
this is what I was talking about, is this here. Nobody could see me on camera. I'm talking about
You're not an inflated character.
Inflated character.
At least if you were inflated, it would make you a little taller.
I really wish. I tried my best to be taller, and it just didn't work out. But I want everyone at home to know I really did try, and it just, this is what happened.
We'll learn more about how you tried later on. All right, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, midterm elections take place in less than 2 weeks, and the issue of abortion continues to motivate voters on both sides. And press that very hot button during debates.
Plus, Saturday marks World Stroke Day, and experts want people to know the warning signs so they can save some lives.
And we're headed to Pittsburgh to get a closer look at the Lord's Dinner food truck and how they are now better able to serve the community. And look from the Drake and Moore walking trail in Joplin, ready for some family-friendly fun for the weekend. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, the countdown to the midterm elections marches on with just a week and a half to Election Day. And according to new data, abortion rights are top of mind. Naomi Ruckham explains how the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade may sway minds in some tight races.
While millions of voters nationwide have already cast their ballots, others are taking the next 11 days to make up their minds. And new polling shows abortion rights are driving many voters. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 50% of voters say the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade has made them more motivated to vote, up from 43% in July. In New Mexico,
y'all are on the way to becoming the first city in New Mexico that's a sanctuary for unborn children.
Individual cities are aiming to outlaw abortion over concerns some women may cross the state line from Texas to have the procedure.
We've lost the access to safe abortion in places like Texas and Missouri and Mississippi and Alabama. So that line is shifting, and now sort of a new borderland is forming with New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Minnesota, Illinois.
The issue is also dominating Georgia's Senate race after a second woman claimed anti-abortion candidate Herschel Walker paid for her to end her pregnancy. Walker denies the accusations and still has support from Republican top brass.
Why are they so focused on Herschel? They're afraid of Herschel Walker.
Despite the many issues voters are confronting in these final days, none matter more than the one affecting their wallets. A recent CBS News poll found 65% of registered voters believe the economy is getting worse, and 45% of those surveyed said President Biden is responsible. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
The White House was quick to point to GDP numbers out yesterday that showed annual growth of 2.6% in the third quarter, a sign the economy rebounded from July to September. With at least 5 states that have Senate races considered statistical toss-ups, both parties are bringing their heavy hitters out to the campaign trail in the coming days. President Biden, the First Lady, and former President Obama will all be stumping for Democrats, while former President Trump is expected to rally with Florida Senator Marco Rubio. And that's one of today's top national stories.
And we've got some weather to talk about this morning. As we look at 7th and Range Line, we've got decent skies so far, 42 degrees, light east-northeast breeze at 3. Temperatures across the area for the most part in the 40s. Safe Sedan, Nowata, and Veneta, all at 50. 42 Parsons, 44 Chanute, 47 Iola, 45 Lamar, and Carthage. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from Range Line. Traffic picking up, but still moving, always a positive thing. Green light for your morning drive, mostly cloudy in the 40s. And the only reason we're putting the yellow light up for your drive home is because we may see an occasional gust out of the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. So do be aware of that. Otherwise, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning might need a light jacket at first. 44 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and partly to mostly cloudy when they come home, 64, and that's ahead of our high, which will reach 65 today under those mostly to partly cloudy skies. Then as we head into tonight, we get mostly cloudy, and we'll drop back down to 50 early and level out there for a while with some shower chances early tomorrow morning. We do have some showers through the weekend, 56 Saturday, 55 Sunday. Don't cancel your plans. They're scattered, but they are there. Keep the umbrella handy. Halloween Day looks great, 67, partly cloudy, and for trick-or-treating, it looks even better, 51 for the overnight low, and then we settle into some 70s next week. Got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Lord's Diner in Pittsburgh has gone mobile to better serve the community. KOAM's Carrie Worthen has more.
This helps families and people that are in need that don't have shelter or food.
An anonymous donor donated the Lord's Diner a food truck. The Lord's Diner site director Laura Ramsey said this is a better way to serve the community.
We would like to reach more people in the community, and transportation is an issue. So this way we can go out to different pockets in town and try to reach those who can't reach us.
The Lord's Diner used to be open 365 days a year, but Ramsey said due to staffing issues, they are only open Monday through Friday.
So on Friday evening, along with their evening meal, we hand out to-go bags. We have just individual bags, which contain shelf-stable food, and then we have family bags, which are bags that people that have the capability and accessibility to cook, they can use that food to help get them through the weekend.
Jolion Conley has been going to the Lord's Diner for about a year and said that the mobile food truck will be closer to him at one of their 3 distribution locations.
I just want to say that I think it's a blessing that everybody that is doing this is awesome, and I just praise God for the amazing things that is being done in this community.
Ramsey said that they serve on average around 300 people a night. In Pittsburgh, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
And to find out more about the locations and times for the mobile food truck or to help volunteer or donate, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, so here's what we're watching as we head into the weekend. We're watching the shower chances. We're watching cooler temperatures this weekend. And then we're watching a warming trend next week. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at Halloween for you. First off, we started 7th and Rangeline in Joplin, where it's looking pretty good. 42 degrees, so a little on the cool side this morning. We got 40s for the most part across the area, except for, again, Sedan's cooled down now, 41. But we got 51 in Newata and 50 in Veneta, 48 Miami Grove, 44 Anderson, 45 Neosho and Monette. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from Rangeline. It's looking good. Green light for the morning drive, mostly cloudy in the 40s. And we're only putting up the yellow light for the drive home because we could see an occasional gust today out of the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. But otherwise not bad. Partly to mostly cloudy skies in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning might need that light jacket. So we're looking at 44, mostly cloudy skies, and then partly to mostly cloudy when they come home, and 64 degrees. And as we go through today, we're looking at an afternoon high of 65 as we vary from partly to mostly cloudy skies through the day. But 65 is not bad. Heading into tonight, we are mostly cloudy. We drop down quickly to 50. Then we kind of level out there for a while, and we look at some early morning shower chances as we head into Saturday morning. For Friday Night Football tonight, we're calling cloud interference, 56 at kickoff, 53 by the fourth quarter, under, you guessed it, mostly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy this weekend, and some scattered showers. Don't cancel your plans, just keep the umbrella handy. 56 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday. And let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, because traditionally on Halloween it's like 12 degrees when you go trick-or-treating, but not this year. As you can see, we go through the hour by hour for Halloween, and it's actually going to be pretty decent to go out and trick-or-treat. You might want an extra layer of something warm underneath your costume, but otherwise 62 at 6, 58 by 7, and 56 by 8 o'clock. And as you can see, we get into the 70s after Halloween under partly cloudy skies. We're back with more after this, but first, here's a live look at the Drake and Moore Haunted Walking Trail. There might be some scary fun here, but it's a house that's for all ages. We'll be right back.
Topping Health Watch this morning, research out of Australia links short bursts of vigorous activity with increased longevity. Study finds just 2 minutes of activity totaling 15 minutes a week can reduce the risk of death by 18% and lower the likelihood of cardiovascular disease by 15%. Well, this Saturday is World Stroke Day, and experts want people to know the warning signs because getting to the hospital right away can save lives and lead to better outcomes. It's estimated over 110 million people in the world have experienced a stroke. Dick Brennan has one survivor's story.
It's been 3 months since Thomas Meerswa suffered a stroke, which started with tingling and numbness in his left hand at work.
I figured it was a muscle reaction to overexertion over the weekend. And then I got up to deliver something to somebody's desk and realized that I was having trouble walking.
The healthy, active 64-year-old did not have risk factors like high blood pressure or diabetes. It was several hours before he went to the hospital.
If I thought of stroke, it might have handled things differently, but according to my physicians, I'm low risk in every category.
This little white cloud there in his thalamus is what's responsible for his sensory symptoms.
Neurologist Dr. Martin Jeetzy at Hackensack University Medical Center says, remember, be fast for warning signs: sudden trouble with balance or coordination, blurred or loss of vision, face drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech, and time to get to the hospital.
It's important to take all of the symptoms seriously. Even if they resolve, they may be a sign of something much worse to come.
It's estimated about 2 million brain cells die every minute that blood flow is blocked.
We have drugs and procedures which can reverse those plugged up blood vessels. You have up to 4.5 hours for the medication to be given.
I'm very grateful that my symptoms have not been more severe.
Thomas is doing physical and occupational therapy.
I have good days where I feel like I'm really on the trend to getting back to normal and reusing my left side. Other days that I feel like my left side is limp.
He hopes more people learn the symptoms and don't delay care. Dick Brennan, CBS News, New York.
Other risk factors for stroke include heart disease, high cholesterol, and smoking. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we're going to take another look at today's forecast for you as well. So far, we're starting out pretty good in Joplin, a little bit on the cool side, 42 degrees. 40s for the most part across the area, save a few warm places that we've seen throughout the morning, like right now in Newata and Veneta. 48 Chatopa, 48 Neodesha, 46 Iola, 43 Fort Scott and Nevada as we start the day. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west on I-44 from Rangeline. More traffic on the road, but at least from the weather department, you get a green light, some thumbs up for your morning drive. It'll be mostly cloudy in the 40s. And the only reason we put the yellow light, which is the sign, is because we could see an occasional wind gust of, say, 20 or 25 miles an hour today. Kids getting on the bus might need a light jacket, 44, a little bit on the cool side. When the bus brings them home, partly to mostly cloudy and 64, and 65 is going to be our high today under those partly to mostly cloudy skies. And we'll be mostly cloudy as we head into tonight, dropping back down to 50 degrees early, kind of leveling out with some shower chances early tomorrow morning. Quick check of the 7-day. That's because we'll have shower chances that are scattered both Saturday and Sunday. Don't cancel your plans. Just keep the umbrella handy. 56 and 55. And by the time we get to Halloween, 67, partly cloudy, low of 51. And after that, 70s for part of next week. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6:30, authorities in Oklahoma open a homicide investigation after the discovery of 8 bodies in connection with a large house fire.
We are dry for now, but there are some, some rain showers on the way. We're going to take a look at all of that in the Halloween forecast coming up.
And the Drake and Moore Walking Trail in Joplin gives people of all ages a chance to take in some spooky, family-friendly fun for the holiday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:30. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So as I mentioned, we had some of those overnight showers, which we saw coming. There weren't a ton of them, but showers nonetheless. My car had some raindrops on it this morning, so I know Joplin got a stray shower or two. We're dry for now, but we have additional showers that are on the way. We're going to talk about all that. We got a lot to get to. 7th and Rangeline, we're looking pretty good right now. 42 degrees in Joplin, 40s for the most part across the region. 45 Yates Center, 44 in Fort Scott, 45 in Carthage, and 44 in Neosho as we start the day. Live look at the MoDOT camera looking west. I keep wanting to say east. Looking west on I-44 from Rangeline. Looking good. Green light for your morning drive, mostly cloudy and in the 40s. And the yellow light is only because we may see an occasional wind gust of about 20 to 25 later today. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy in the 60s. Kids getting on the bus today. They might need a light jacket this morning. It's 44. And when the bus brings them home, a little bit better, 64. And partly to mostly cloudy skies. That's how it is. Because we've got showers to our south, they're close enough that we're going to get these intermittent clouds of partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. 65 for the high. Mostly cloudy tonight, and we'll drop back down to 50 early and kind of hover there for a while. And we'll see some shower chances early tomorrow morning. Friday night football, we're calling for, you guessed it, cloud interference, as we'll be mostly cloudy tonight. 56 at kickoff, 53 by the 4th quarter. And the weekend. So we got some shower chances this weekend. They are scattered showers, not widespread rain, so don't cancel your plans. Just keep the umbrella or rain jacket handy. Otherwise, 56 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday. So a little bit cooler than what we will see today. and definitely cooler than what we're going to see next week. And we'll talk about Halloween and the week ahead and additional rain chances here in a couple of minutes.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, thanks, Chris. Authorities in the Tulsa area investigate 8 deaths, and this is a developing story. 8 people are dead in connection with a large house fire in Broken Arrow. Investigators say the fire and deaths are investigated as homicides now. Authorities are not saying how much about the circumstances, but they say they do not believe there is an immediate threat to the public. Police say it's a complex scene given the state of the house due to the fire damage. They say Broken Arrow stands together in mourning.
This is a shock to Broken Arrow. It's a safe city. Broken Arrow doesn't have this kind of situation every day, and so we're asking the community to please, pray and come together in this, because this is something that we don't experience as a city very often.
ATF is on the scene assisting with the investigation. Police say they intend to release more information today. Silver Dollar City provided an update on the derailment of the Frisco Silver Dollar City line steam train. The crash occurred shortly after 6 p.m. Wednesday night, injuring 6 guests and 1 employee. On Thursday, Silver Dollar City said the employee and 5 of the 6 guests have all been released from the hospital. There's no word yet on the cause of the derailment. Breaking overnight, there could be big changes at Twitter, with the Associated Press and other news outlets reporting Elon Musk is now at the helm, having closed the $44 billion deal to acquire the social media giant. Musk has already reportedly ousted top executives from the company, though CBS News has not independently confirmed all of this. Naomi Ruckham has more.
Elon Musk tweeted, quote, "The bird is freed," hours after the Associated Press reported he had taken control of Twitter. The billionaire Tesla and SpaceX CEO is also said to have fired multiple top executives, including its CEO, Chief Financial Officer, and Chief Legal Counsel. Twitter has not responded to a request for comment from CBS News.
Everything is incredibly uncertain right now. I believe that a Musk-owned Twitter would mean that he would start to implement a lot of the changes to the platform.
Wednesday, Musk, whose new Twitter description says Chief Twit, brought a sink to the company's San Francisco headquarters and joked, "Let that sink in." The following day, he was back, tweeting an open letter to advertisers that he envisions the social media platform as a digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated, but adding it, quote, "cannot become a free-for-all hellscape." Musk's takeover has triggered uncertainty among some Twitter users.
Elon Musk buying Twitter and owning Twitter will be the end of Twitter.
I've seen obviously people commenting whether they're going to continue using it or not, but I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
Musk's $44 billion bid to buy Twitter began back in April and faced numerous setbacks, with Musk at one point claiming he was going to pull out of the acquisition. A judge in Delaware had set a deadline of today for the parties to close the deal or else go to trial. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Elon Musk has not issued an update on a statement he made earlier in the year claiming he would reverse Twitter's permanent ban on former President Donald Trump. Now, Trump was shut out of Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram following the January 6th Capitol riot. He has since launched his own social media platform, Truth Social. Well, they call it a haunted trail, but this Halloween attraction swaps the scarier side of Halloween for something more magical. The Drake and More All Ages Haunted Trail is a free walking trail in Joplin that features inflated characters from the book of the same name. The characters help young children navigate the sometimes difficult challenges of life.
It's a book series about Drakenmore, about the creatures in Drakenmore and some of the things that they do. It's kind of a children's book series. It teaches a few life lessons about being scared, things like that, finding a home.
Drake and More book series is available online or can be purchased at the Drake and More Walking Trail. And I know that the series is actually written by a family member.
Yeah.
And another family member actually is the one who illustrated the book. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. No, it's a very cool trail if you have an opportunity to get out there. They've built an amazing setup every year.
And I do want to mention they've had a big comeback this week because this is a huge property with a lot of inflatables and lights and stuff, and the winds and the storms that came through earlier this week. It tore it up.
Yeah, definitely wreaked
havoc. They took everything down. They made their
More.
comeback a couple days ago, and it's open for business.
Yeah, and thankfully nothing quite that crazy in our forecast now. Quick look at sunrise, sunset, 7:38 and 6:25. And on our 7-day forecast, once we get into Halloween, we're looking at 67 and partly cloudy. And for the first time in quite a while, it seems, to me anyway, Halloween night isn't going to be, in the 30s. It's going to be pretty decent. So when you're out trick-or-treating with the kids, we're looking at 62 at 6, 58 at 7, and 56 by 8. So a little cool, at least for me, but not bad otherwise. So we got a pretty good Halloween coming up.
All right, sounds like fun. All right, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. KOAM's own Shannon Becker is live in studio to help us close out the week with his big 3 stories.
Plus, we got another look at your forecast coming up. Poor Shannon, he's sitting over there. He wasn't on TV today. But first, as we head to break, we're going to take another live look at the Drake and More Walking Trail in Joplin, which is ready for some family-friendly fun for the weekend. I highly encourage you to check it out. This is thanks to morning show photographer Olivia Opal with these phenomenal shots. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. We have Shannon Becker live in studio this morning to help us close the week out with his big 3 stories.
That's right. Big 3 live breaking news when we're out on the streets getting those tips. I tell you, that's what we really rely on because we can't be everywhere at once.
Okay.
Number 3 this week, Joplin News first. Grass fires plagued not only Carl Junction, but the entire region this last weekend. We're talking Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri. This was a 50-acre grass fire Carl Junction battled on Saturday afternoon, their second big grass fire that day.
How many acres?
It's about 50 acres. Which,
wow.
I mean, that's a lot, but still, it's about a half square mile. Like this, here's an old fence post, made of wood, stuff like that, still burns for hours. So they were out there into the darkness that night. And no one was injured, and no structures were burned also. They did a great job with that.
Those wind gusts were ridiculous.
50, 55 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Number 2 story, KOAM News Now. This is later on that night. 50, 55 mile an hour wind gusts in Carthage. This is video from my friend John Hacker. He just happened to be on the square and heard the sirens. That is a former sheet metal business, now a warehouse, now a gone warehouse. It caught fire. And then it spread to a nearby church, the church building adjacent to it. And that is the oldest Latino church in Carthage. They'll be relocated. Haven't talked to them yet, but they could build on that same spot or relocate to another spot. But their spirits are still up. And then our number 1 story of the week. I had a good friend who was actually on this train, her and her husband, as it rolled Silver Dollar City. These are pictures that she took off of her camera. It happened at Silver Dollar City the other day. Nobody was seriously injured. 7 people transported to the hospital. She said, since they were out in the woods there, the people that were injured, they put on side-by-sides and then took them to meet the EMS crews out in the parking lot and stuff. But she said they're very sore, obviously.
Oh, I imagine. I've ridden this train multiple times.
Yeah.
It's a great ride. It takes you all around the park.
Right.
They give you a tour of all the rides and attractions that they have there. And what's interesting, have you been on this train?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we all have.
They go by, and do you remember going by where there's like an old train wreck?
Yeah.
And like they're gonna have to change their story now
Maybe,
because the current train is the one that,
Yeah, the bald knobber's done it. Well, the Missouri Division of Fire Safety, I heard you talk about it earlier. Yeah, they did release a statement yesterday. They're done with that initial investigation, but they'll come back with an engineering firm for more investigation. The park remains open, but the train is closed. And then our bonus story of the week. This is a really incredible story. Seneca Fire Department in Seneca, they were working to build their new fire station since about 2015. Then they kind of ran in, they were just waiting for more money. And it's about a $700,000 project. And then Glenna Wallace, the chief of the Eastern Shawnee tribe last year, said, how much more do you guys need? And they said, we have a bid for $273,000. And she said, we took that bid and we paid $273,000. So it was really incredible to see that across the state line in Oklahoma, they helped finish a fire station in Missouri. And she said, you know, a state line doesn't stop our community. She said, you know, we're one community, Seneca and Eastern Shawnee. I thought it was really good. It gives me goosebumps even telling the story.
Yeah.
So Chief Tyler Crow was there and talked to everybody. And then, of course, Chief Glenna Wallace was there as well. Check it out on our website, KOAM News Now. It's our bonus story of the week.
All right. And excited that we're out live at Drake and More this week, too, because that was one of your big highlights on last week's bonus story.
So you can click on our website and find that list. And we've got about 8 different places where you can go. And it's fun. You can stay in the car with the kids. I started doing this list because of COVID. You know, couldn't get around everybody. So you could just kind of drive by and see the lights and stuff. But it's kind of stuck around. I think everybody enjoys it. So Drake and Moore's at the top of that list.
All right. Hey, there's another live look at Drake and More right there. We have our
looks great
photographer Olivia Opal out there giving us scenes.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll have you come back again on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Some finally Friday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we begin in Sarcoxie with Ryder Kyle turning the big number 1. And look at that adorable little, I believe that's a bunny. I could be wrong.
I think so.
But it looks like a cute little bunny, and I love it, and I love Ryder, and a very happy birthday to you today.
That wasn't weird, Chris.
Hey, why not?
Okay.
He looks cute.
It's a cute picture.
It is a very, I guess that's more what I'm going for. I love this picture. It's a great picture, Ryder. Happy birthday. I'm just not going to do any more birthdays, Antonia. You can read the list.
All right. Milo Joe Ascanio turning 7 strong today. Milo Joe is in Pittsburgh attending Southeast Elementary in Cherokee. Birthday love coming from Grandma and Grandpa.
We got Blaine Buchanan turning big number 9 over in Jasper today. Blaine, a very happy birthday to you.
And also in Jasper, turning 12 years old, it's time to celebrate for Baylor Rush.
And we've got Brianna Chandler celebrating birthday number 15 in Grove. Brianna, a very happy birthday to you.
All right. And Mason Honchell celebrating birthday number 17 this year.
And we've got Emily Terrell celebrating birthday number 26 in Carthage. And Emily, this comes with love from the entire family.
All right. Haley Reed celebrating birthday number 26 this year. That's a pretty cool picture. Loving it in Nevada.
And we've got Tristan Thornton celebrating birthday number 27 in Thayer. A very happy birthday to you, Tristan.
Kelly Thomas celebrating birthday number 37 this year. Kelly is on the right in this picture. It was taken from a sister's trip to Salem, Massachusetts last year. How cool is that? That's where you want to go for Halloween. Yep. Happy birthday from your sister, Kim.
And we've got Amanda Miller turning 43 today in Pittsburgh. Amanda, a very happy birthday to you.
All right, and if it's Amanda's birthday, it's also time for Amanda and Jimmy's anniversary, celebrating 11 years together with love from the entire family.
And we've got Linda Flood celebrating birthday number 75 today. Linda, a very happy birthday to you.
And out in Asbury, Missouri, Miss Frances Dodd celebrating birthday number 91 this year. Miss Frances, I understand, is a lifelong follower of KOAM.
That's a good thing to do because we've got a lot of great information and great people here. Terry and Sarah North are celebrating their golden anniversary. It's number 50 today in Columbus. Terry and Sarah, a very happy anniversary to you.
An amazing picture. I love that. All right, and our birthday list goes on. We've got Damian Town turning 12 years old, and Scott Goodian is 58 in Afton.
And Kyler and Corbin Coombs are twins, and they are celebrating birthday number 9 in Frontenac today. And Susan Beverly DeShazo in Joplin celebrating a birthday as well. But This birthday list, as long as it was, is not long enough. There's got to be more people celebrating in the 4 states. Tanya's going to tell you how you can let us know about those birthdays and anniversaries.
It's super easy. You can always mail them or drop them by the station, but the easiest and fastest way is to send them through email. Either use birthdays with an S at KOAMTV.com or birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com.
And, of course, while you're at our website, make sure you check out the KOAM Birthday Club, because you can get some cool deals from local businesses. And, of course, you get a nice birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. All you need to do is check out the KOAM Birthday Club by going to KOAMNewsNow.com. All right. As we take a quick look at our forecast out the door, kids getting on the bus, 44 mostly cloudy skies, and it'll be 64 partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies when they come home, and maybe a gust of wind here or there pushing 20-25 miles an hour. 65 the afternoon high under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Will be mostly cloudy as we head into tonight as well, dropping back down to an early low of 50, and we'll hover there for a little bit and look at some early morning rain shower chances as we head into Saturday. And we've got scattered showers possible Saturday and Sunday, 56 and 55. They're scattered, so don't cancel your plans. And then for Halloween, 67, partly cloudy, 51 the overnight low. And then we get into the 70s for the rest of next week under some partly cloudy skies. We got more of KOAM Morning News after this, but as we go to break, here's a live look at the Drake and Moore Haunted Walking Trail. Might be some spooky fun here, but it's an all-ages attraction. So there's no horror and no gore. And if you and the family are looking for something fun to do this Halloween weekend, that's the place to be. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. 8 people are dead in connection with a large house fire in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and investigators say the fire and deaths are being investigated as homicides. Authorities are not saying much about the circumstances, but they say they do not believe there is an immediate threat to the public. Police say it's a complex scene given the state of the house due to the fire damage. A second excavation begins in Tulsa in connection with the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre investigation. The excavation includes a new area at Oaklawn Cemetery. The first excavation took place during the summer of 2021, and analysts were able to locate 19 human remains. The city says 14 of those fit the criteria for further DNA analysis. Authorities investigate allegations against a Neosho County, Kansas county attorney. According to the Neosho County Sheriff, an investigation is underway following a slew of complaints against Linus Thuston. The State Attorney General's office did confirm there is an investigation and no prosecutorial decisions have been made. Thuston is currently serving his second stint as county attorney. Coffeyville, Kansas Fire Department releases details regarding 2 structure fires over the past weekend. The fires took place at 7th and Pine and Penn Street. They say the fires were fueled in part by the high winds and were large scale and suffered significant damage. And no residents or firefighters were injured. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, we take a look at our forecast. We've got 65 under partly to mostly cloudy skies today, maybe some gusty winds here and there. We'll be mostly cloudy tonight. We'll drop back to 50 early and kind of hover around there with some shower chances building in by tomorrow morning. And as we look at the weekend, some showers Saturday and Sunday, just some scattered ones, so don't cancel your plans, just be prepared. 67 and partly cloudy on Halloween Day, 51 for the low, and then we get into the 70s as we head into next week.
Coming up today at noon, we're making General Tso's chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
That sounds good. And your morning news, of course, continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. The U.S. economy rebounded slightly in recent months, but there are troubling signs. Next on CBS Mornings, how the mixed signals will affect Americans struggling to get by.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, Cadaver Zone creeps into the studio for one last visit. We expect them to pull out all the spooky stops.
And Shannon Becker is going to join us to close out the week with his big 3 stories. That's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. We'll be back here Monday morning. And, of course, we'll be here at noon. But take a look at this. It's Drake and Moore live right now as we leave you.